Welcome everybody to the podcast. My name is Leonard Brown, and these are the three good guys.
You didn't just say
quoted one of my
good guys.
quoted one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, but
The
you didn't say the
Temptations.
Three Good Guys.
Anyways,
podcast.
this
You
is
said
Three
the
Good Guys podcast. My name is Leonard Brown. To the right, I have,
Rodney.
and to my far right, I have.
As Leonard always does, instead of just introducing himself, he has so much extra stuff to say. So I figured I'd take that role today. And before we say
You even
anything,
sat in the spot.
exactly. Before we say anything, I want to say shout out to my grandmother who just had a birthday.
Happy birthday, Granny. We love you.
You know, we just wish you nothing more or nothing less than the best.
Okay.
Wish you nothing less than the
praise
best.
God.
Good.
With that being said, my name is Miles, and these are the Temptations.
It doesn't work afterwards. It doesn't. Anyways. So today we've got a great show lined up for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about bad advice. Has anyone ever given you bad advice? I know I've gotten bad advice. I don't know who's going to start. 'Cause I normally don't host. I don't like to host.
It's all good.
I don't.
I'll start.
There we go. Thank you,
make
Miles.
it
I
easier.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Some of the bad advice I got in one time is something that a lot of people have said, and it fails people every day of the week. And if you're a Christian, it even goes against Scripture. Follow your heart. Just do whatever your heart says. Listen to me right now. If you do what your heart says,
The heart's deceitful.
yeah. First of all, the Bible says the heart's deceitful above all things. But secondly, you'll be in love with one woman this week and in love with another woman next week. You'll have one passion that you're going hard for today, and then 3 months from now, you'll be doing something
So
else.
what is the message you think they're trying to give with that bad advice?
I think that the message people want to put across is that what's good for you is already inside you to some extent, but that's not what people say. And because it's not what people say, it's not what we hear. And like, kids follow their heart all the time, which is why you have a kid that says, I'm gonna play football, and mom and dad spend $300 on football gear and stuff, and then they get tackled one time and they quit because football players
They turn into basketball players.
make basketball players every day of the week. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, they say, I'm gonna do something like skateboarding. So parents spend $150 on a skateboard, and turns out when you jump off the skateboard, you land on the ground.
Ground's
not-
very unforgiving.
Exactly. And then so then it's like, skateboarding hurts. So they want to do something else. And next thing you know, you've tried all these different things. You ever watch the Huxtables?
Oh, I love the Huxtables.
And they talked about all the things that Denise wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And it's like, Denise, no. You need to stick. She was following her heart and just being a free spirit. And as a result, folks was going broke. So you don't follow your heart, okay? You take inventory
Okay.
and you think.
Think it through.
Yeah.
Think.
Because when you use your mind,
Take a step at a time. You can do
anything.
that you want to do.
Exactly.
Actually, that's another thing. You can't do anything.
You cannot.
You know what,
do.
Steve?
Steve gave us bad advice.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We would like to try to do as much as we can. But there was a meme, a video of a little kid. He was crying in the backseat of the car. And I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "I want to be Mexican." And I'm just like, unfortunately, you're a young black man. So
You got one shot to be Mexican.
Well, in 2024, you can be pretty much any ethnicity you choose.
Well,
That's a different episode.
That's a whole
That's
other-
a different
never mind.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be quiet.
yeah. That's a different episode.
But there's actually some things that you can't do, and that's okay.
That's okay.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah, because I can't be Shaq.
Yeah,
And
stand up real quick.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, just
be quiet.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop that
Stand
right now.
Yeah, I think you should.
for the camera.
I think
it's going to emphasize your point.
I think
Yeah.
it's enough emphasis to say that
And
Shaq is over.
We're gonna
It'll
get, if you stand
solidify
up, we're gonna get views.
I mean, if it's for the views, I'll just say,
No, bro, stand up.
No, give me some. You ugly. But yeah, so Shaq
So-
is 7 feet tall. I'm never gonna be that.
So we're gonna go ahead and put "Follow Your Heart" in the bad advice.
Most
Bad
definitely.
advice.
Yeah,
Unanimously?
definitely bad advice. Definitely bad advice.
Okay, while you're getting that, I got my bad advice. This bad advice came to me by way of one of my brother's friends, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny if you ever see this.
Point them out.
So I'm in high school, and there was this girl there that I wanted to hang out with. She could hang out after school. So one day I had like study hall or something, so I was able to hang out after school because of study hall. And I was like, dang, I really want to hang out with her more. And you know, I didn't have an excuse to, and my parents wanted me to come home. And my brother's friend, Kenny, told me, just do it. And let me tell you something, that was bad advice. Okay, that's advice from somebody that didn't get whoopings. When they just tell you just do it. I gotta follow the rules of the house. You know what I'm saying? I can't sacrifice my butt
Absolutely.
to just do it. So that was
you
some
could have
bad
offered
advice.
yourself as a living sacrifice that
Yeah,
day.
that was some bad advice I got. But the good thing is I was able to recognize it as bad advice off the rip. You know how I recognized it? Like I said, I knew he didn't get whoopings. So sometimes you gotta look at people that's giving you advice and see what kind of consequences do they experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
may work for you, but it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me at all.
So far with the advice that we've gotten, the best advice that we've gotten is to sit down there in your thinking chair and think.
That's about it.
Shout out to Blues Clues giving good advice since like 93 or something. You know what I'm saying?
If I were to add mine in really quick, so you know, of course, sports. We talked about how you're working.
Love
out
sports
and things like that. And one thing you always commonly hear is like, "Oh, push through the pain." And yeah, if you push through the pain, that might be the last time you push.
That's the last time.
Okay, so you got to recognize where there's pain, if there's uncomfortability, there's being tired, but then there's actual just pain.
There's just pain
that you need to stop. So
like you said, pain is a warning sign.
Yeah.
So if you have pain, don't push through your pain. Listen to your pain. You gotta learn to listen to your body.
That's right.
That's the good advice.
And when you
coming
listen,
out of the bad advice,
you learn.
Yeah.
And
learning is fun. Wow, that's another quote. No, true story though. I played half a football game with a broken wrist because I was just pushing through the pain. And as I was telling this story earlier, complaining about playing with a broken wrist, my brother Elijah told us that he played with a broken leg, so I can't complain no more. But the point of the story is, listen to the pain.
Yeah.
Pain is a warning sign telling you, like, hey, you need to cut this out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we got a cameo. Little cameo.
from
Okay.
baby Ari. Hi, Ari.
All right. No. Watch that there.
Oh,
It's all
I
good.
think it's good.
It made it.
Yeah.
No, but for real, my truly bad advice that I've gotten and I've refuted it, and we talked about it before the show here. And if you've ever heard this, let me know in the comments what you feel. Happy wife, happy life. I think that is absolutely terrible advice.
Terrible.
And I know on the surface it sounds good, like, take care of your wife, but to me it gives you the idea that your happiness doesn't matter, or that your happiness is only equal to her being happy,
Or it's secondary to.
it's secondary.
Yeah.
So I much rather prefer the term happy spouse, happy house, but the idea that as long as your wife is happy, your life is happy, I think that is terrible advice, and your happiness does matter. So any brothers out there, your happiness absolutely does matter.
Yeah, I think we've gotten so comfortable with that statement, to where it's like a cardinal sin to say anything else.
Definitely.
In regards to that, and even though a lot of people will say like, hey, I don't really take it that serious, or yeah, we know what it means and everything. I'm like, well, no, I think there's certain terminology or things that we definitely should change as far as how we present that stuff, because I mean, when you think about men's mental health and stuff like that, and how they're resting upon statements like that, and just depriving themselves of happiness, literally. And
growing up, you're the boy, you always hear about how right the girls are, and how bad the guys are. So you get this idea I'm gonna be super good, right? I'm gonna be the good guy, and then you never realize that the girl needs to be good to you also. Yeah. And I'm just speaking from my own experience. I was in a relationship where I was I'm just gonna do the right thing, and I'm gonna make her happy, I'm gonna be good to her, and she wasn't good to me, and I just kept this idea that I'm just gonna be better to her, and eventually she'll be good to me. And that's all I see with the happy wife, happy life. It's I'm gonna be so good to her that eventually everything's gonna work out. And it's no, that's not always the case. That's not always the case.
With this month, I don't think it gets enough shine. It's actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And you talked about your story. Where did that leave your mental when it was all said and done?
Oh boy, well, wasn't ready to go there today. Let's see. Hurt and everything, but once I realized that I had a voice and I mattered too, it was freeing and it allowed me to pursue happiness for the first time. Because like I said, you just grow up and you always hear about how bad guys are. Like, oh, this guy did her wrong. This guy did her wrong. So you just get this idea in your head, like, I'm going to be the complete opposite. And so, like, I don't think I was ever taught, like, what to look for in a woman or what to expect from a woman or from a relationship. I was always taught on how to be a good gentleman, how to be a good man. I was never taught, like, you should get this from your partner. Yeah. And then also it's like carried on. We're getting off topic. We'll get it back to advice.
Yeah,
but it carried on to my marriage too, like where it affects my wife, where she told me sometimes, she was like, you don't ever expect anything out of me. Like, I don't know what to give you because you don't expect nothing. Because I don't, because my whole mind was what my output. I never thought about what to receive or what to draw back from somebody. Thankfully, I do have someone that cares, and when I don't express what I want, she'll go out of her way to, find it. But yeah, that all goes back to that one way of thinking that the woman is good, take care of the woman, and it's like you need to be taken care of too. So
that's definitely something I'm gonna need to speak with my other brothers about to see how many of us feel the same way. Because I've actually been told the same thing. Like, you didn't tell me what I need to fix, what to do better, what to give you. I don't know what all you need. And I'm like, I don't know either.
I'll be like, I don't need nothing. Like,
yeah, that's how I feel.
I take good care of me.
You know what I think it definitely is? It definitely has to attest to, like, us as men, we're not the best at communicating certain things. Yeah. Like feelings or stuff like that in general. And so a lot of times we're learning that from our spouse or a relationship that we're in. Hopefully, if you're in a relationship with the right person, they'll help you to learn yourself about like how to express yourself properly. But then in some situations, like, oh, they don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? They just want to, receive and, give nothing else. So it's I think it's more of a testament to that, because if you think about it, like you always hear about how he did this girl wrong, or
that's all you
because
hear.
When something happens, they gossip. They go tell their girlfriends. Yeah. Like, it's gonna be talked about. Yeah. Whether it's in a healthy manner or not, like, it's healthy the fact that it's being communicated to some degree, right? When something like that happens to guys, we might talk about it maybe for 5-10 minutes. That's it. And like, okay, we're moving on. And then you're going back home dealing with all these thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, because a lot of times we don't get that opportunity to really flesh all that stuff out. Yeah. And so I think that has a huge,
this is turned into a therapy session.
Yeah, this is more than I was expecting.
Hey, man, I mean, that's how it goes, man.
But yeah, so I'm gonna hold that as I move forward. Happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
Because kind of some of what Rodney was saying and some of what Leonard was saying is I don't know always how to express things, and at the same time it's like I don't feel like I need anything. I just want you to not treat me bad. Like, that's the most I could say. That's a lot of times is just don't treat me bad. Yeah. But what does that even look? That actually looks different for different people.
Yeah.
No, true. Like,
and I don't even know what that looks like for me
sometimes. Sometimes the truth is just in that statement alone. Like, I can't give you a more descriptive, explanation. Just like, I want to do something fun. Whatever. Like, it's just that. And I think that's because, one, like I said, men, we're more so logical thinking. We're more so like, hey, I can compartmentalize certain things. Like, that's why men in leadership, I think, are more valued in some sense because of that. They're able to take on pressures or things that would probably throw, our counterparts, awry, because, they're very much in tune with their emotions, which is not a bad thing by saying that. That's actually a hugely important thing.
That's a plus.
So that's a huge thing. And that's how you are able to determine, that's how you get, I believe, that's how you get the best out of men, is by having healthy women around you, healthy being the key point there, because they're able to get you to be in touch with the emotional side of things and realize the importance in certain emotions, stuff like that. But then we're also the counterpart to help them, like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. They're like, calm down. This is the trajectory that we're going.
Don't ever tell a woman to calm down.
Oh my goodness. Listen.
He wants to start. No, that's bad advice. You gotta tell him to calm down. Because sometimes they do.
Sometimes they got to know.
Yeah, I should have seen the way my wife was driving up here this morning.
Uh-oh.
You got to tell her to calm down. Love you, huh?
Love you.
Man. That was good. That was good.
Absolutely.
That was good. That was good bad advice right there. So
Absolutely. I got another piece of bad advice. Now this is a very common thing that I've heard, but it's you can sleep when you're dead. Like I've heard that, and I took that the worst possible way when I was in college. I remember my last semester living on campus at DBU. Those last 2 days, I literally did not sleep. I mean, there was maybe, I don't know, might be 3 days, 0 hours of sleep. And I thought that was good because I was studying and I was cramming, and I was studying and cramming because college was fun and I wasn't doing all the work I should have been doing the week before that. But that's a whole nother situation. Anyways, but I thought that it was like okay. And then it turns out like if I would have went to sleep, I probably could have studied way less and retained way more.
The irony in that statement is sleep when you're dead. It's like, yeah, you're going to be dead a lot sooner if you don't sleep. Like, you absolutely are. Like, it's scientifically proven.
Absolutely.
You know, you definitely need to get rest, and healthy rest is hugely important. And so, I'm trying to implement that more so because, I'm a night owl type of person. I'll be up late, stuff like that, but I'm trying to diet. I feel like I've gotten better over time because it is important. You go into work and you sitting at the office desk and you can't even hold your eyes open for 10 minutes and you're just doing one of these.
I've been there plenty of times.
And it's just like, man, that's just so unhealthy.
And
like,
coffee don't work.
Don't do it.
It don't work. Coffee don't work.
Because then you start building crazy habits. Like you start going to buy C4s and like all this stuff is terrible for you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nah, man. If you just got some sleep, you would have been straight.
I saw a study. I don't know who I sent it to. Probably you, Miles. I don't know. Where it was showing that like people that take naps have less heart disease. Yeah. Just Google that. I found that very interesting.
So I need to put more naps into my daily schedule.
If you can work one in, I don't know where I can. But I can go to bed sooner though. I'll be up late.
I do too.
Man, me too.
Like the other night, I was up till 3-something in the morning, working on business stuff.
Nah, he was probably caking.
Yeah, he was cupcaking for sure. Yeah,
there's no way.
Were you on the phone while working on this? Yes, you were. We talked about this.
We talked about this?
Yeah.
When?
You were on the phone while you were working on it.
No, I have been on the phone while working on stuff.
When you were up till 3 a.m., you were on the phone. You said...
Let's preface this by saying we know you were working.
Nah, but like I do that. But
we know you're working, but you were also...
But I don't always do that. So what I'm talking about now is I wasn't on the phone.
Okay. All right. We good.
But I do that.
From the story that I heard... From the story I heard, it was like, why are you still up? And I'm like, I'm up because I'm working, which means you have to have been on the phone for someone to ask you why you were still up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I know something about that.
Okay,
you see, I was talking about something different,
Okay.
so I didn't know what you were talking about. But I got you, though. And like I said, I definitely do that.
I'm up late just because, like, me and my wife love to watch TV. Like, when you find somebody that shares your
same
passions, y'all, because y'all know I watch television. I can't wait to go to heaven so we don't have to worry about nothing and we can just watch all the TV we want. Yeah. At least that's the heaven I'm imagining. I don't know how and I hope the shows I watch are allowed to be seen in heaven.
This man has a 700-inch flat screen as his version of heaven.
Yeah. But we just watched Lord of the Rings. So it was my first time, and I went through the whole series. So that's why I haven't had much sleep, because those movies are 3 hours long, plus each one. But it leads me to my next bit of bad advice, which isn't nearly serious at all. I was told to watch Twilight, and let me tell
terrible
you,
advice.
That is terrible advice.
Yeah.
Let me save you 6 movies in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Twilight is a movie about vampires.
I'm trying to think of a scenario. Like, now, this is coming from somebody who's watched every single Twilight movie. Okay, so judge me if you want to. Okay,
yeah, here we go.
But I got sisters, and they have it on.
So you had to watch it. I understand
exactly. So the crazy thing is, I'm trying to think of a scenario in life where it was actually like maybe this would have been good for me. Like maybe 12-year-old me.
It's not.
It's just not. It's just bad it's bad all around.
It's not. And when they do the little running, that's how they ran. It's just if you've seen, you understand.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
You know what? If we're gonna talk about TV
Twilight.
shows really quick, another bad advice is somebody tells you not to watch The Bear. Season 2 is about to drop in like probably just
The
drop
Bear?
this week.
The Bear.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Y'all watch it, okay?
the bear.
Huh?
Our
Are
manager
you getting
asked if we're getting
paid
paid
for
for
this?
this. You know, because we are
Listen,
promoting stuff right now.
you're
We gotta be
definitely
careful.
promoting Lord of the Rings here, so we're just gonna follow suit.
Okay.
We're gonna follow suit, okay?
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a
they get
great
pass.
show. Great show about cooking. I'll just say that.
Show about
Leave it at
cooking.
that.
It's not cooking food, is it?
I didn't.
It is cooking food,
Oh, okay.
but it's actually a really good show. Y'all should check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check it out.
I think
I'll
we
put it on the
talked about
list.
the other episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So I think kind of follow through to another thing, because I mean, you can kind of. I guess some people call me this. You know, they call me a nerd sometimes, and I'm like, you know, bad advice as kids is like, don't be a nerd, because nerds
Oh
aren't
my
cool.
gosh.
And I'm just like, wow, how times have
How
changed.
the tables
Oh my
have
God.
turned.
You know,
Nerd culture is awesome.
man.
Yeah, everyone's into anime.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Everybody is.
Now let me like follow me on this one. Like how does anime become nerdy, or like how do we just automatically categorize
you don't
that?
know
That's
how?
a good
With
question.
nerd-
It's just
I
a
can
tell you.
cartoon.
But I can tell you who was really watching anime.
Okay, you got a point there. Cause listen, one
Yeah.
day my brother came into this house with his friends, and dude had on that little thing with the metal thing on the.
Oh, like the little
Yeah, you don't wear that in
plate
public.
Naruto?
Bro. You don't do
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
go to somebody's house for the first time.
you know.
So that's probably what they meant when they were saying don't be a nerd. You know, but
Yeah.
not to not like the things you like. Like it's
Exactly.
okay to like the things you like. You just gotta be cautious of how you interact.
Because
with
I mean,
people.
I could be a football nerd, right?
Yeah,
but that's
Absolutely.
typically not two statements that go together. Like if you really love football, you follow it, you play it.
yeah,
People don't call you a nerd.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you can,
and you know all the stats,
yeah.
all the records.
But technically,
makes
that
you a
would be
fan.
like a nerd, like in some sense.
You know, that's
Right.
definitely a nerd. Yeah,
And I said
Yeah.
this earlier. Being a nerd is a good thing because nerds dictate culture. I know someone's like, "What do you mean by that?" It's always a nerd at the head of everything that determines what gets put out. So like when your favorite rapper does something and you see it on TV and you think it's cool, it was a nerd that chose to let that show. So the nerd is actually the reason you like what you like.
yeah. Because
Or it's the nerd that edited and put it together.
Definitely a nerd to do that.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, nerds are valuable.
We need a nerd to come and edit our stuff.
If there's any nerds out there-
nerds out there,
Want to help a podcast
You're wanted,
to grow
trust me.
and do good things.
Yeah. And nerd should be a term of endearment.
It should
It really
be.
should.
Like
Because you know it's a
it is. You know what? I'm
It is.
declaring that right now.
yeah,
a prerequisite for being a nerd is being
you
smart
gotta be
and
smart.
thoughtful.
You can't be a dumb nerd.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't
go
work.
together.
That's a
Steve
funny sentence.
Steve Urkel invented time travel.
Fam.
Yeah, he definitely did.
That's probably when the show got ridiculous. But that's beside the point. He did time travel.
Time travel.
So yeah, nerds.
He was
Shout
able
out
to
to
create
Steve.
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan Urkel.
There's no Stefan Urkel without a Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
The coolest dude ever comes from a nerd. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But I got another piece of bad advice, and I think a whole lot of kids got this bad advice. Today's the worst advice ever. Stop playing all them dang video games. That is the worst advice.
Yeah, we talked about that last show. Talked about video games. Yeah.
I've never gotten worse advice than stop.
This
playing.
is-
I should have played
this
way
is
more.
what I
video
don't-
games.
Play more.
This is what I don't get. I never understood about video games. They would be like, turn those video games off, but then they'll let you watch TV. I'm like, at least with the video game, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm making decisions. I'm critical
Creating?
thinking. I'm creating. Like
You're shaping the narrative of the
Yeah,
the
like-
story most of the time.
Like there's
Depending on what
something
it
going on with my brain when I'm watching TV. I'm just
It's mindless.
consuming. Yeah, yeah. Having kids get off video games. Is
Yeah, so
bad advice. Now get off the game and read a book.
that
Yeah,
might be
okay.
good
That's
advice.
good.
That might be
advice.
good advice. Yeah, for sure.
Get off and then just let me watch TV.
Terrible.
That's bad advice.
But I feel like if I would have played more video games, I could have been like one of those great streamers that just never lose. You know, like I feel like that would have been me.
Yeah, not me. I wasn't.
You can't beat Elijah in Madden. So I mean, I don't know how
What
that's
in the
gonna work.
world?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Elijah's definitely the best one in Madden. He better than me.
I'm like
I'll say it.
that'll be your prerequisite
Yeah.
into getting to streamers.
And
now,
when
you
this
know?
podcast goes off, Me and Elijah are playing Madden.
Dude, I'm 33 years old. I can care less who wins a game of Madden.
Oh, that's a loser's mentality, okay?
Wow.
Anything I do, I intend to win. Okay?
Came for me, didn't he?
Anything I do, I intend to win.
Yeah.
No, I it's probably on the list there, but I know we mentioned it earlier. Some bad advice, I think, it's not bad for everybody because we talked about it, but for some people definitely is just this idea that when you graduate high school, you got to go to college and you got to go to a 4-year university. Especially the 4-year thing. I think if you're going to go to college, there's nothing wrong with going to a 2-year university and save the money. And then, like, if you're young out there and you're considering going to college or whatever, just ask people how much student loan debt that they have. Like, really, let's think about this. Biden got elected on the promise of clearing student loan debt. And we clearly see this man can't remember his name from day to day, right? But just the idea that, well, maybe he can get rid of my student loan debt. We'll overlook everything else, right?
Take that chance.
Yeah, we'll take that chance.
That's crazy.
Man, so definitely I think some bad advice is just this idea that we give kids that, oh, you got to go to college. And then even more so, you got to go to a 4-year. I wish I had went to a 2-year first. It would have saved me a lot of money. And then also the interesting thing is, like, you can find a job that will pay for your school. Like, my job pays for my school. They pay for the schooling and the books. So I don't pay for anything. And I graduate. I got 2 classes left and I graduate. Very proud of that. Thank you very much. And so it's just so, thank you. There's a, you guys can't see it, but there was somebody over there clapping. I appreciate that. But yeah, so that's just, in my opinion, terrible advice.
I just went to ChatGPT just to see the average student loan debt for someone who has a bachelor's degree is $30,000 to $40,000.
But wait, I got a question you can ask ChatGPT. Like, how many people that start school finish with a degree? Like, what's the percentage? Because that's just the people that finish. There's plenty of people who didn't finish that still have the same amount of debt.
Yeah.
Went for 3 years. 3.5 years, 2 years, you know? And so I think that some advice we should be giving people is go to trade school. Trades are awesome. They get you into your career way faster. Or if you go to college with a plan. Know what you want to get a degree in. See if that degree translates to an actual job. I find that most people have, like counseling degrees, or what's it called? Oh, yeah. Somebody help me out. Psychology degrees. I see y'all didn't go to school. Goodness. Most people have like psychology degrees, and like they don't do anything with that degree, or political science degrees. They don't do anything with that. Yeah. So,
and I did go to school. Shout out to Dallas Baptist University, Northlake College, all those other things. Tarrant County Community College. I went to a couple schools. Anyways, according to ChatGPT, about 60% of students who start at a 4-year institution graduate with a bachelor's degree within 6 years. And then 2-year colleges, it says the completion rate for students starting at a 2-year college is lower. Approximately 30% of these students earn an associate's degree or transfer to a 4-year institution within 3 years. I need to dig into that. How is it that only 30% of people going to community college actually get an associate's degree or go to a 4-year institution? That is wild.
Well, I mean, it's a lot that can do with that. Like, for instance, community college communities or the culture around the school is a lot different. Like, nobody's over here like, yay, TCC, like, I'm repping, you know? They don't care. They just like, hey, I'm just here to just try to get this degree, man. And so the culture and stuff around 4-year universities, these big schools, kind of aid in the fact of you trying to complete it because you have, like, you know, if you live on campus, stuff like that, all this kind of stuff that helps you in that motion. Community college, you typically, most people that go in there are like work or they got kids. So they're just like, oh, okay, I'm just trying to make it to the school at night. I'm trying. Something comes up. I can't make it. Stuff like that happens. Or, like you mentioned, they transfer to. So I can see why that's the case. For sure.
But even 60%, I mean, that means 40% of the people that go to a 4-year
don't get a degree.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of debt.
And then you got to remember, too, like, it's that the average debt is 30 to 40,000. That's including the people who got scholarships, full ride, and they have no debt, all this other stuff.
No, you're right about it.
So if we're just only thinking the people who really had to pay for school, had to take loans and things of that nature, I don't know how.
Yeah, I want to put y'all tinfoil hats on real quick because I got a conspiracy. Like, I think that the government in like early 2000s was like, man, we need a way to generate some more income. Like, we can't take up taxes no more. Like, we need a way to generate some income. And they looked at the schools and they were like, listen, schools, here's what we're gonna do. We need y'all to open up y'all doors. All right, we need y'all to just tell people go ahead and go to school. The government will fund it, because then what we're gonna do is then we're going to charge them for it. These loans they were never going to take out in the first place. He was never going to take out $70,000 loan. Now I can charge him with interest. Oh, sure, I'll tell him you don't have to pay while you're in school, whatever. And then it's like, and who are we going to do this to? 18-year-old kids. Right?
With no job.
I honestly think that the whole, student loans was a government plan to increase government revenue.
It's a good plan though.
It's predatory lending is what it is. It should be illegal. Yeah. If it were anybody but the government, it would have been illegal.
Because, think of alternatives, right? Like, let's say your favorite, the career path you wanted to go on. Let's just use Google, for example. What if they did all their own training and stuff and everything, like you enroll with them more specifically?
Yeah.
Is that a better alternative than, like, schools?
100%. I'm signing up for Google University right now.
Probably so.
You could probably get a free Chromebook.
Yep.
Yeah, one of them good ones too.
Yeah,
not one of them cheap crap muffins. But a couple other things. So, one, I think more people should be going to trade schools or just schools that are targeted to a very specific thing. Find a job you want to have and figure out how you can push yourself forward in that. But another piece of advice regarding school that I got is, like, you're here for education. Don't worry about anything else. Because I'll be honest with you, what was worth way more than my education are the people that I got to meet. It's actually, like, I personally think it's more valuable to be popular on a college campus than it is to get a degree. Depending on what you're doing, of course, because some things you can't do without a degree. But, for I mean, right?
Beer pong.
But even that, like, I've seen kids who, like, didn't do anything in school. They just played around. But what people don't understand is college is a place where high achievers congregate. And high achievers don't stop being high achievers after those 4 years. But if you want a job, you want relationships, connections to people that are doing things, all those people, when they're 18 to 22 years old, they're all in college for the most part. So what you want to do is get to know all the people in college. And as those creatives, those future presidents of this, those future CEOs, as they go on and do other things and they're growing, who do they bring along? The people that they know, like, and trust. Their friends, their family. If you were in college and you weren't making connections, you were doing yourself a massive disservice.
Wow. You know what I was thinking about as you were saying that, which was a beautiful dissertation there, man.
Thank you.
You know what would be incredible if the church was like that?
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
If it was a place where, like, hey, this is where you build the connections, where you find the people, opportunities may come when it comes to not only just your spiritual life, but, work life, whatever it may be, because you built these connections with these people. And the range of that should be endless, because now you're not just limited to the 18, 19-year-old people that you're building up with, but people of all ages.
But you would have to have a church willing to allow you to speak about things other than preaching.
Okay. But you know what? There is something coming to the church world.
My goodness. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's a good one. Go ahead. I know where you're going with that.
There's something coming that does exactly that. It will bring together professionals in different spaces that are believers, that are ministers, they play keys in the church. They help you with your worship.
Stock traders.
They trade stocks. They do all. They're YouTubers. They're podcasters. They do all these things, and they clearly love Jesus, but they're successful, generating hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. And that place, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to get around these people, you can go to speakupchurch.com. Okay.
I gotta give us props.
Man, man, what?
That was good.
We're pretty good at that.
That was
You know
pretty
what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah,
Just
that was
progressed
good.
into that.
You know what I'm saying? You
That
go to
was
speakupchurch.com, you have the opportunity to get around these people. And what that is there's an event that is aimed specifically towards believers to help us learn how to create more impact and more income. It's very simple. Those are the only two things. Get your money up, get your impact up. If you are a believer and you want to participate in either of those, that is where you need to be, and that is where you can make those connections that Rodney was talking about.
I went to the first Speak Up Church, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was thoroughly impressed. The speakers were amazing. The concept was amazing. The whole everything was amazing. I'm sure Miles will drop a link or something for you guys to see. But yeah, I was really shocked, and I was even more so just blown away at like who didn't show up. Like Miles told you to come to this, and you didn't come. And
I was one of those that didn't make it.
Yeah, I'm like,
but my mom did make it. She did say she really enjoyed it. She was like, "Oh, it was
yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
It definitely was incredible.
Yeah, it's something that churches, like, in all honesty, your church needs to be there. You need to be there. So there's also, look, go to speakupchurch.com. You'll get information about it. Like I said, we're putting people there that can help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
In different ways. And we're going to show you. Here's the amazing thing, because like I've been to events. It's like, we're going to help you do XYZ, and they don't really
do
help
nothing.
you.
Yeah.
Listen, like you were there.
They
your
give you a
sister was
packet
there,
and a
you feel
giveaway.
me?
Mhm.
Like, we actually are giving you the information necessary so that when you leave, you can start doing the things that's going to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're right. That is a big deal, and I think more churches should be like that. And my desire is to have a bunch of churches there, not just the church, but the people who want better, who want more for their life, is to be there. Because when I say we're pouring into folks, I mean that with everything in me. We're giving everything we got to make sure you go to the next level.
I think that's some great advice to invite people to speak up.
We got good advice.
It's huge.
We got good advice, ladies and gentlemen.
Advice, absolutely.
I got some bad advice for y'all. As I sit around here and I see Miles with his gold chain on, and I see Junior with his gold chain on. I don't have mine right now. This was true advice that was given to me, and if someone ever gives you this advice, just don't listen to it. I remember being a young man and someone was telling me about building credit, and they were like, "What you can do is you can go buy like a gold chain and get it on credit, and that'll help build your credit." Let me tell you something, people. I spent $700 on a $200 chain because I had no credit and the interest rate was through the roof. Man. That is bad advice.
Talk about terrible advice.
That is terrible financial advice right there.
Terrible advice.
As someone that's learned about credit, like there's so much easier ways. There's like different apps where you can just pay $3 a month, right, and it'll help build your credit. So
yeah,
and you can just We'll put
funny?
that. Wait, hold on. You got to promote your business.
Go ahead.
We'll put a link on the screen somewhere. We do have a credit repair business where we help people grow and restore their credit as well. But yeah, don't go buy a necklace to build your credit, or don't go buy anything. There's no reason to go buy something to build your credit.
Yeah, the only thing you should buy to build your credit is the Quick Credit Jumpstart, which will be plugged in.
This is what turned this into a commercial. You see this?
This is what we really care.
The Quick Credit Jumpstart is not my personal thing, though. That is what the company Leonard was talking about, though. But seriously, that is probably the only thing you need to build your credit, because spending a ton of money on stuff, all that does is, for most people, is mess your credit up in the long run. Because you don't really have the money to keep paying.
You just overspend on stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That necklace, I still got it. That necklace is worth $200. I paid $700 for a $200 necklace because I had no credit.
Was that even whatever metal it was supposed to be? Was it even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I just asked because it was
just
only $200.
The interest rate was like, through the
That's
roof,
crazy.
So.
Yeah. Oh, here's some good advice. Actually, go ahead, because I was going to go.
Well, I mean, just even to add on to that, it's like another bad advice people would say is like never get a credit card, because guess what?
That's Dave Ramsey right there.
Yeah, man. Listen,
Goodness.
listen.
Yeah.
It's there's some advice that's out there that's it's debatable whether it's bad or not. Because if I look at what you do and your spending habits, I probably would give you the advice to say, like, yeah, you should never get a
don't get a credit card.
You can never get a credit card ever. Okay, but like if you're trying to actually achieve, great credit, more financial freedom, not having to pay as much for certain things, you need to build your credit character. You need to be able to have cars that are going to benefit you.
Yeah.
And like, come on, think about it. Like, you got a debit card, you swipe it every day, it doesn't pay you back. You have a credit card, and you can swipe it every day, and it can pay you back. But if you only use it the right way.
Yeah. So you got to be responsible.
That's debatable. But,
you got to be responsible, but still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Learning that credit cards literally pay you back, that was great for me. When I first bought a plane ticket and I didn't have to spend any extra money because I had already paid my bills, like, how'd you get this plane ticket? Because I paid my other bills I was paying anyways, and as a result, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was beautiful. But something cool that my brother told me, and this is a piece of good advice, is to actually buy precious metals.
Oh yeah, I'm the precious metal king.
You know what I'm saying? That was some good advice. Because precious metals actually have value. And the value goes up. Yeah. Who knew that gold and silver was good to just have?
Yeah. And there's levels to it. Like it's not like, buying Bitcoin or something where the chance of making so much money is so high, right? But it's more so just securing your finances against inflation. So, yeah, and plus they look cool. Like, the coins just look great. I like to show people all the time. Like, look what I got. Yeah. So
amazing coins.
Bad financial advice. We talked about this before the show. Co-signing for people.
Terrible.
I get clients all the time. Oh yeah, that my sister, I was co-signed on that car and she stopped paying the bill. Can you get it off? No, your name is on there. I mean, can we get it off? We might be able to, but I mean, you still responsible. You signed on it, know. So don't co-sign for people. The co-sign means that they're not able to get this. That's what it means. It meant that the bank said no, they're not. They have not proven to us that they can handle this payment. So why would you? With no research, the bank got years of research into credit profiles. The bank is like, they're not gonna be able to pay this. Why would you be like, I got it, don't worry about it. They're gonna pay it.
Now, what would you say to like the parent-child setup? Like, you have a young child who's old enough for credit, like has a little bit of credit. Would you say as a parent, like, hey, I'm gonna help you pay this or anything? Would you say co-sign there?
No.
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
I mean, that's a loaded question. It's either way.
Yeah. What I would say is build their credit profile. That's what I would say. Mm-hmm. So whatever they need, they might have to wait a little bit until after their credit profile is built up. So now they don't need a cosigner.
That's a good point, because half the problem why people have bad credit is because they just didn't want to wait. That was it. We're just impatient. If we would just wait a year before we do something, we can get it without messing up our credit. But no, if a parent wanted to do that, that's fine. That's on them. I was more so, I mean, that's you risking something for your kid, that's a parent. Yeah. I was more so saying, like, your friend, your cousin, your brother, like,
or even your girlfriend, boyfriend.
Oh, your girlfriend.
Not a girlfriend.
Especially, y'all don't ask Leonard to co-sign on nothing. Dang. I would rather loan you some money. Yeah, don't. I'd rather loan you some money than co-sign, because at that point, trying to get the new car. I've essentially signed up for something, and then I hope you pay it.
Yeah,
I signed up for a car, and I hope you pay it.
I would say this: you can co-sign for something if you can afford to pay it too. If you,
I don't want to pay it.
It's not. That's the same.
I feel it. You may not. I ain't saying you should do it, but if you can afford that extra payment, then at least like, man, if everything fails on this, I can make sure things go okay, and now I'm not negatively affected.
And I just saw something, bro. I didn't. So I've. This is new to me, okay? I saw this happen. A car got repossessed, and then the bank called the car owner and was like, "Yeah, you still owe us $1,000."
Ooh,
did you know that was a thing?
Listen, I know because my beautiful wife over there, that's the kind of the line of work she kind of works in, to say the least.
Yeah.
And so I hear lots of stories about, stuff like this.
I was flabbergasted.
Yeah,
I was like,
now
if
she
you
would
got
have
the
to correct.
car-
This is more so her segment because she could definitely answer this and give you the detail. But I know for sure you still have the obligation to the bank for the loan.
Yeah,
aside from the actual vehicle.
that's hilarious.
So you're still gonna owe them.
Because I was like,
especially if they're
car back.
I'm saying,
yeah.
I'm like, the
So what will happen is if they will get the car and they will sell it basically, and if it doesn't cover the balance,
yeah,
then you owe them the rest.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't co-sign.
Am I right, hon?
Don't co-sign.
Okay.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, so they want you to pay money after they took the car.
Yeah.
Oh,
What they take the car for?
Mhm.
That's crazy.
They already got the car. What you gonna do to me? You know?
They gotta go find the car and steal it back.
That's what's
for
called being upside down. Listen, if you're upside down, the loan is more expensive than the vehicle.
Now, I know about
Then
being
you
upside
pay.
down on a car because I got my first car from Carvana,
Sheesh.
and them interest rates were not nice.
Ridiculous.
You hear me?
Man, listen, my first car was at MCMC, and them interest rates was egregious.
Should have been illegal, boy.
You know.
Hey, but no
Man, don't go
cosigner
there.
though. No cosigner though. We did it though. We did it.
We made it, man. They told us that thing, but we made it.
When I went to trade that car in, that dude looked at me. He was like, "Yeah, you owe $9,000 on this car, and it's only worth about $1,000."
Good.
And I was like,
Shut.
"Hey, listen, I need you to figure out what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to figure out what you can do."
We gonna roll this 9,000 over into our loan,
That's exactly.
and then you gonna owe us that.
You
Plus
gonna owe us a lot of money
That's just
Goodness
terrible.
gracious.
on a 2% interest rate.
Well, they got y'all good, didn't they?
Sheesh.
Yeah, you be thinking,
You gotta-
we good, man.
Hey. Cause you was like, I can afford these payments, but how long?
How long?
Are these
You gonna be
payments?
paying for the rest of your
How many months?
the rest of your life. Have you ever looked on your credit card statement and seen like
108 months.
99 and a half years if you pay the minimum payment? I'm like, why do they do this stuff?
Yeah,
to us,
man.
They be having you locked in for life.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's good.
For real.
It's a good what's that called? Good business model. Have
Oh,
people locked
Oh,
in for
definitely.
life.
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting a credit
Yeah.
card company myself.
Yeah.
Credit card company or insurance.
And
you
I'm
know?
gonna sue for everything. You know how the companies don't be suing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I'm getting mine.
I'm suing mine. I'm getting all of mine.
Another thing of bad financial advice is a lot of people say don't discuss your salary.
Oh,
like
that's terrible.
Like
Listen.
that's good for the employer.
No, let me tell you.
If you never discuss your salary to your coworkers,
Nah, hold on. We
that's
gotta talk
great
about
for
it.
the employer. Terrible for you.
We gotta talk about this, okay?
Mhm.
And if my job sees this, oh well. I'm not gonna say who I work for, so it'll be all right. So, you know, I'm in management, right? So we started hiring a new crop of people. We started hiring people with prior experience in the department that we work in. These new hires make almost as much as me,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And
Isn't
I
that
know
crazy?
because I can see their salary. Talk about the salary, people, because we got to talk about it in order to know. So when I
You're
saw how much they
training
make,
people
That's
that
making
make
than
more
you.
money than you.
I kid you not. So
And that's happened to me a couple.
we have what's called subject matter experts, right? It's people they've been there a while and they're really good at, you know, what they do. And the new hires are making way more money than them. Bro, when I saw that, I was like, if I was you, I would have been out of here.
Yeah, it's a
That's
raise
one of those
or I'm
things
gone.
where
It's a raise
yeah,
now
I gotta talk to somebody.
or I'm out of here.
Or just let me quit and get rehired as a new hire with experience. You know what I'm saying? Let me do that.
Some rehired me at this job title. With the
Yeah,
new
we
pay.
need to change the narrative on that.
Yeah, so yes, talk about your salary, because the only thing that's happening is they're able to pay people differently instead of paying you fairly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
paying you
You know,
what
pay
you're
me what
actually
you think
worth.
I'm worth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't disrespect me like that.
Mm.
Woo. There's
a
an
good
app
one.
for that called Glassdoor, Open Door.
Yeah,
something like
Glassdoor.
that.
not always the most accurate thing in the world, but it
Bowl of Fish or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? I don't know. It's some
There's another
apps.
Glassdoor one for
Just
sure.
go look out there. They got them out there. So you
Yeah,
can
we're plugging
so
a
you
lot
can
of stuff
access it.
today.
I know.
I know.
Yeah, we ain't getting paid for none of that. Yeah.
How much time has it been? Anybody know?
I have not the slightest clue.
You know what? Let's find out.
Let's see. Where we at?
I feel like we got like another 15 minutes.
Okay,
in
cool.
us.
What's the next topic? I know we got a bunch on there.
So, another one. Of course, this is just bad advice given. Line of work I work in, I talk to a lot of people, and you know, a lot of opinions get thrown around. One gentleman was telling me, mind you, this man is 4 times divorced. Okay, he was
First
like, you
of all,
know
we
what,
don't
the
even talk
best.
to people like that.
Listen,
Oh, wait,
when you're in a situation, yeah, you got no choice. Okay,
this dude is
I
Steve
gotta talk
Harvey
to-
out here.
Exactly. He tells me, he's like, you know what? I found it's good to have a mistress on the side when you
Yeah,
married.
that's bad
because-
advice.
That's a professional divorcee.
And I'm just like, brother, you all 4 attempts, you still ain't got it, man.
What did his wives think about the mistress on the side?
Oh my goodness.
Because clearly they disagreed with him.
Yeah,
clearly.
clearly. And I just respectively was like, you know what, sir? If that works for you, more power to you, brother. But I like to live on this side of the land.
Yeah.
And I like to enjoy my life.
Yeah,
Not
He
that
said
much.
on this side of the land.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
unequivocally put that in the bad advice.
Yeah,
terrible
we don't
advice.
gotta. We don't
You know,
gotta
it was
vote on
given
that one.
unsolicited too. You know, you just, you know, hey.
Oh, some bad advice I got one time going to work, and the advice was this: go to work, put your head down, go home. And in theory, I guess I know what people are saying there, but in actuality, if you really want to succeed and move up, especially you work at a large company like the company I'm talking about, you don't want to go to work and put your head down. You want to go to work, network, get to know people.
Man, you are so correct, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You want people to start liking you.
Exactly.
Bro, you're so right, and I have a hard time with that because I like to go to work, put my head down, and go home.
I've been
That's
there.
what I like to do. And like my manager, she was telling me, she was like, "Yeah, I need you to just speak up more in the meetings," and I'd be like, "For what?" Like, first of all, can we talk about work meetings?
Go ahead. Let's talk
Alright,
about work
can we-
meetings, bro.
99%
Don't need
useless.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I know.
saying?
We talk about the same two, three things.
Let's talk
every-
about that. And then
you know?
like, and then I be hearing people, they just be complaining, and I be like, why you complaining? It's your job. Like, just go do your job. But yeah, so if you want to advance, it is crucial for you to go to work, make yourself known, and speak up. It is, but that's hard for me. I don't care. I don't care enough to do it, but I do want to advance in my career at the same time. I really, if I could be honest with you, I just want to make more money. I really
I
don't
get
care
you.
about the other stuff.
I think there's a healthy balance that you can have of like making yourself known, but then also not like, you know, getting too involved with extra stuff. But yeah, no, I get it though. Like it's different if
we have a question.
do we have
My
a
bad,
question
my
in the
bad.
audience?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
Because I'm the same way. Put my head down and go work or whatever.
Yeah.
So you said you struggle with that, but you were able to get like the managerial
Uh-huh.
position, right? From you speaking to the right person, not necessarily like networking with everybody. Is that right?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard it, but the question or the statement was more so like you were able to get into management. Talk about me from speaking to the right person, and not necessarily everybody. That's true. That's true. I spend my time with people that matter. Now that's a fact.
sure.
Thank you
That's
for
really
pointing
good.
that out. Yes.
I'm the same way.
Yes.
I go to work, put my head down, but talk to the right people. But you don't have to network with everybody.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, so we're saying you don't have to network with everybody. You just
Yeah.
gotta talk to the right people. That's right, because see, I don't talk to people in the group meetings. But my manager, on the other hand, somebody that might be able to help me move to the next level. See, we talk. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Talk
So
to your
yeah, that's
manager.
it.
And talk to their manager too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would still be kind of stretching into talking to more people, but I will say that's very true because it's about talking to the people who can affect change, but also, you know, to kind of add to that or to add to the point of still being friendly, like around your work group, is you never know who's in line for promotions, other positions, or who is just talking to somebody else. Like I had a old manager who was dating one of our, you know,
VPs.
upper manager people.
Okay.
Didn't know, but like now that person has a good, you know, rapport of who I am. So if any opportunity pulls up, you know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
Let
know
me-
him.
let me
Boom,
show you.
boom. So it's good to be known, and to some degree. But of course, if you're gonna be more strategic about it, if you're like, hey, I'm just not a talker like that, I'm just not a person that does that, then yeah, just you know, do the numbers game. Talk to the right person, the person with the power, the person with the decision making abilities. and getting good with them.
Yeah, because I remember one time when I was at work and I was telling one of the managers, like, I want to move up. And there's like, I'll be honest with you, Miles. We see you. You come to work. You do your job. But that's it. You come to work. You do your job. You go home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the people around you, like, your specific team know that you're a resource. But your department doesn't know that you're a resource because you didn't let your department know.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to elevating, yeah, my specific manager is willing to help. But there's a group of management that if the group of management was aware, or if the people as a whole could see, or as this specific person was telling me, the direct group of management above us and the group of management above them walk the floor. They see, they're there. They don't see you as the kind of person that is good for everybody. Now, they know that you're productive because they see your work, but they don't know that essentially, are you a leader of men? That's what it really takes to really advance and to thrive.
When I hear stuff like that, it just confirms that the Lord put a spirit of entrepreneurship inside of me. Because I ain't dealing with all that. I ain't dealing with that. Was a lot.
It is a lot.
That was a group of managers, a floor, 2 steps up. That's
it does sound like a lot. And what this guy was telling me, he was like, so you're good at your job. We see that. But you are not making it clear to those around that you are a resource. And if you really want to move up, you need to be like, we're going to promote people that are a resource, and you're not proving to be a resource.
It's all facts. It's just annoying.
It is annoying.
Because you know, I train new hires. And so every month they do like the agent of the month, right? And we've done 5 so far, and 3 of them were my agents. So I really feel like I'm the best trainer in the company. I really do. And I don't care what meeting people or all that stuff. I'm like, nah, look at the numbers. All I care about is points on the board. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I care about. So I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but yeah, you're right. Putting your head down at work if you want to advance is terrible. But if you just want to get through the day,
it's okay if you put your head down there. It's not the best advice if you want to move up, obviously. Yeah. But if you put your head down and you go to work and you get your work done and you do well and you bring home money to your family, that's not a problem.
So we're gonna put it in the decent advice.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
It can.
It could be better.
Yeah, it could be better.
Okay.
What is another one? Don't ever change.
Terrible advice.
That's terrible advice.
Grotesque.
Terrible advice.
That advice is man, for the birds.
Listen, if I took that advice to heart, I wouldn't be here today.
I'm about to say.
Yep. My mom and daddy would have killed me probably about 10, 12 years ago.
10, 12 times.
Yeah, 10, 12 times. Yeah, over.
Would have brought you back to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, not changing shows no growth.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So don't ever change. It's like don't ever grow. Like I reserve the right to change my mind. They be like, oh, you used to think that. That's right. Then new information came in. And now with the new information, now I think like this.
Yeah, I've been called a flip-flopper because of that. You know
we
what?
had that conversation.
You know what? I'm okay with that. Call me a flip-flopper if you want, but if I find new information and I'm like, you know what? This makes more sense to me, or then I'll change my mind.
Change is good.
That's cool.
I stand 10 toes down until I have a reason not to. And then I stand 10 toes down on a whole new position.
I'll be fully committed, 100% believe. And then when I get new information, I act on that new information. That shows growth.
Yeah. But you know what's sad? When you see people who truly never change. Because some people, like, some of the stuff sounds like, of course, you don't really do that. But, like, people do take this advice and they do live by this stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, I got a friend from high school who shall remain nameless on this podcast. Every time they call me, my brain be like, bro, are you still in high school?
Goodness.
Have you not grown up at all? like, bro, we are 33 years old. I don't care about...
How old?
33.
Goodness gracious.
I don't care about what you did at the rec center today. I don't.
The rec center.
You should be playing at the YMCA. That's where older people play. Okay? You need to give up playing at the that's what Ali whatever his name is, the comedian. Yeah, man. So please grow up, please change, please.
Absolutely,
all of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, did y'all have anything else?
A bad advice. I don't know. I can't. Thankfully, I've been given a lot of good advice in my life. I will say that. But everybody gets bad advice. The key is learn how to recognize it before It messes you up.
The number one thing that we've learned today is we all need to sit down in our thinking chair
and think.
and think.
Purposely off beat there for you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But no, bad advice. You can turn it for your good. You know what I mean? You can hear it, you can listen and be like, hey, maybe I took some bad advice in the past, but I learned from it, and now I realize this is terrible advice.
It's growth.
Yeah,
it's growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is remember your happiness matters too. I'm gonna throw that back out there.
Absolutely.
I felt that. We're gonna have to have a therapy session.
Powerful.
Maybe somebody with one of those psychology degrees could come on and talk us through that.
Yeah.
I know a few. I know a therapist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Should
the
I
couch is
follow
open.
Yeah, I won't be
Yeah.
here that episode. I'm just kidding.
He doesn't want to cry. He doesn't want to cry on camera.
Oh my god!
Bringing a therapist to talk about your aces.
Who?
Your aces.
I thought he said aces. Like.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, it was good.
yeah.
It was good.
I don't know where this guy is going.
Go ahead, close it out.
You're not gonna.
I'll close it out,
Go
guys.
ahead.
Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here at Three Good Guys Podcast. I'm Rodney,
Leonard,
Miles,
and we hope you had a good time. Share some bad advice in the comment section, funny, wherever it came from. We want to hear about it. Follow us on all social medias.
Absolutely.
You know, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere you can find Three Good Guys Podcast. We love y'all. Do something good for somebody in your life today.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you soon.
Follow.